All right, guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do new series, ATARI Force, issue number 1 from DC Comics by Gerry Conway and Jose Luis Garcia-Lopez. This book is, no joke, this book is from 1983. And I realized that just a moment ago, it's been around 40 years ago since I have read this issue in Dutch, because we have only the Dutch versions. And now I have the original ones 40 years ago. So I decided to do this not only because I like ATARI Force, but also we did a review, or I did a review not so long ago about Marvel's science fiction-like comic, the Micronauts. So I thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we're going to do the science fiction series from DC from back in the day? And that's what we're going to do. So guys, let's dive in. And we see somewhere on a planet called Rock, there's a bar, and there is fighting breaking out, and this guy wants to know what's going on. So he looks outside, and before we go there, look at this. Remember this back in the day when toys were, looked like this was fun. I don't have it, but yeah. Anyway, so we see Dart and Blackjak, who are doing missions, bounty hunters. And they are having a bar fight here because General Key here, betrayed them because it seems that they, should pay for some kind of a mission, and then they want to, he wants to double cross them, right, and then kill him. All we want is the money we contracted for, plus a small interest charge for bad faith. Of course. If the general still wants to be difficult, we'll settle for a chunk of his hide. What'll it be, key? Cash or carcass? Art looks fantastic. Roy Thomas as well. So I'm not. So I believe Jose Garcia-Lopez is the artist, or maybe, yeah, I believe that's the artist, and I believe Gerry Conway, the writer, could be wrong. Anyway, so General Key says, well, you cannot escape because we outnumber you, but these guys are way too good, so they are maybe outnumbered, but they are overpowering his forces with ease, right? And so Dart says, that's the last of them, Blackjak. Nobody between us and Key, but colony cops. So yeah, she has a vision because that is one of her, that's her power, right? She has premonitions, right? And then she says to Blackjak, hey, we need to go away because the shock cops are on the way. And she says, hey, how do you know? Trust me. So he grabs a bottle of alcohol and then gets shut out of his hands, and he makes a run for it. But they made a mistake because they have cordoned themselves, and the shock cops are here, but that she is using the micro grenades to open up a hole. And so Blackjak says, is this some kind of you know what it is. Take off, I hold your rear. Give me a break. If I lost you, Blackjak, who'll be make my morning coffee? Move. And he screams, come on, I didn't shove you that hard. You don't have to scream. And then she's screaming herself because they are falling from this mountain. Right, and then she's using, some kind of grapple and saving the day. And there's some color errors here because he has a way darker skin, more like a stone skin, if you will, or I'm not sure what kind of skin that you said, a gray skin, right? So there's some color errors here, right? So yeah, they are hanging here. But then we move to General Key, who is speaking like Master Yoda. He says, underestimated him, I did. Pleased he will not be. Kark startled me. Your master, where? Behind you, General Key. You were to bring me a gift. Where is she? Smarter than I thought. Suspected a trap. She and the one-eyed warrior escaped, they did. Key, you greedy worm. I know everything. You made them suspicious by trying to cheat them of their fee. Your failure will not be repeated. And he says, no, not the river. The rivers of Rock's world are unique, a volatile mixture of organic acids potent enough over an extended period to erode stainless steel. General Key, needless to say, is not made of steel. He lasts approximately 16 seconds. Oh, nice. So this guy, whoever he is, well, I know he is, but I'm not going to spoil that. He says, "Look, Ark, one of the rock's world's little treasures, but all, like all things beautiful, so fragile. I want the one called Dart, Kark. Whatever the cost, she and her family must be destroyed." Then we go to somewhere else, 3,000 light years from the rock, and there's a planet called Egg, simply Egg. So this drunk captain is having some fun, and he's and probably one of his, people that work there. Maybe his how do you call people on a ship? Like captain. You have underlings. That's probably the best word. He says, "Hey, what are we doing here? Why did you route us to this spirit-forsaken world? Computer says it has no resources, no markets, no valuable trade commodities, no anything." But he says, "Well, it has something. Computer, take us down." And he says it doesn't have any valuable resources or markets or commodities, but it does has people. And Egg's people, see, it's kind of special. He says, "What are you talking about?" So then he grabs something out of his bag, and this mysterious creature looks at him funny. And so it seems that this giant is a baby. And ex-people, they're a weird lot. They mobile till they reach puberty. By that time, they are big as mountains and start to harden up. Look, have a look. Those hills, they're people? Not people, mate. Not real people like us. I hear some of the folks who said these eggites can still think when they get that way. So then he lures these creatures in, right? But the underling says, "Hey, Captain, what are you doing?" Right? "I told you, mate, X got one valuable commodity. And right now you're looking at it." And so he snatches this youngling. And the underling says, "Captain, you can't. Already have, mate. Now run before it gets mad. But you made him a slave. So what? Probably be happier out in civilization." But starts to cry. Sighs, not like it's got real feelings. I mean, like us. Right. But then we go to ATARI headquarters, also known as Advanced Technology and Research Institute. And on New Earth, by the way. And we as Mr. T, right? And cartoons. And Spider-Man and his amazing friends. So a couple of people here in this monitor room is monitoring this young lad. And so this alien creature says, "I fear I missed the point. How will this challenge the psychokinetic abilities of the one you call Tempest? Just watch him, Mr. Dr. Morphia. You'll understand." So he's running away and in this maze, but he cannot get out, right? And then this robot comes to kill him. And Dr. Morphia says, "Help him, Professor. Something has gone wrong with your test." But, the professor says, "Guess again, Morphia." So this is the test. "Oh, God, I hope this works. Phase out." And then he's teleporting behind this robot, right? How can it be? Well, it seems that he has certain abilities. Tempest didn't vanish, Morphia. He transferred to another level of the multiverse. So, yeah, this is not the DC multiverse that they are throwing all these things at us in modern comics. That's not it. It's just completely different. And then back again in our reality. What a kid, eh? Look, the hunt is still on its tail. But now Tempest has known that he is in no win maze. So I bet, haha, though you tricked me this time, right, Professor? Hiding in the exit. That's real. But then he's being pulled back by this robot, right? And then Dr. Morphia is really concerned now. He said, "Should we do something?" And the professor says, "No, not yet." So, there, look at the multiple screens. That's what I wanted to show you, Morphia. He can transfer part of his body through the multiverse and inside another object. The results, spectacular. So Tempest comes, "Hey, Professor, how do I do?" "Fabulous. You're really getting a handle of your abilities, Chris. And I couldn't be prouder of this boy for you're my own son, Morphia." So he says, "Hey, who's this?" "Meet Morphia, Tempest, a Canopian. She's just joined the Institute Psych Research staff. Morphia, this is Tempest, otherwise is known as Christopher Champion." So, but that Morphia makes a little bit of a mistake here because she's mentioning his father, Martin Champion, who was a renowned commander of the ATARI Force. But Chris doesn't like that. He said, can we not talk about my father, please? Right? But then she says, sure, Chris, besides Melissa's waiting for you. Melissa? And yeah, that's his girlfriend here, by the way. And he says, hey, I'm going to see you later, Professor. Bye. And so Dr. Morphia wants to know why Chris has reacted so, like that when she mentioned his father. So, Eucanopian are raised in creches. I believe that's how you say it in English. Could be wrong. You never know your parents, so I'm afraid you wouldn't understand how complicated human emotions can be. Would you instruct me? Tempest's father, Martin Champion, is a stubborn, obsessed man. For what he'd done to that boy, I could kill him. What he's doing? Well, she said nothing for 18 years. So, according to Martin Champion, his son does not exist. Now, why is that? Because Chris's mother died. There was, maybe I told you in the unboxing video a while ago, in the original ATARI Force comics, I believe there was 4 or 5 of them. I couldn't get a hold of them, even through eBay. It's very hard to get, or even in good condition. Martin, was searching for something. I'm skipping that little part, but they went through the multiverse, and his wife got pregnant, but because she was unshielded in the multiverse, some complicated things happened during the pregnancy, and that gave Chris his powers, but also Martin's wife died during childbirth, and Martin blamed Chris for that, right? So the doctor says, imagine what that's done to that boy's ego. I try to be a substitute, offer what I support I can, but there's only so much I can do. But you're a Canopian. You can't understand this, can you? But the doctor thinks I'm also an empath, Professor. I understand more than you think. My work here is well begun. Meanwhile, we go to Chris here. He has some fun time. Well, it's a little bit mopey of what's happening. But then he thinks about someone. And Melissa says, are you thinking about my father or all those horrible things he says about the ATARI Institute when he's speaking in the World Senate? So it seems that her father is some kind of a big shot, right? And but Chris is thinking, I just have some things to work out. I'll be all right. But then he thinks about Dart. God, I wish Dart were here. She always been like a big sister to me. Always so cool, so smart. She could knock me out of these moods with just a grin. Where are you, Dart? When are you coming home? But then we go to another planet in the Betelgeuse star system when this particular creature is trying to avoid all attention because it's a thief. It likes treasure, but accidentally it trips an alarm, and then the alarm goes off and it cannot get out. But then museum guard comes, and this guard says, "Thief, your pulse pattern has been identified. You are Taklauli, alias Pakrat, notorious artifact thief. Surrender, and you are outnumbered. There is no escape." So Pakrat, just like most animals, when they are cornered, they are going into the offense, and it doesn't work out really well for these museum guards. And he says, I hate being cornered. It was a nice planet to plunder while it lasted, but I have a feeling I've stayed my welcome. So, and then he thinks, hey, maybe I should go to New Earth. Lots of fresh money, lots of pretty things. So that's settled. New Earth, it is. And then we go to Blackjak and Dart, who was still dangling for hours on that rope. But everyone is away now, right? So they are safe. And he says, hey, let's have a drink to celebrate. Celebrate what? He says. We're broke. We're alone on a planet 5,000 light years from New Earth, and we're probably being hunted by shockers thanks to that 2-timer key. Look at the bright side. At least we're together. And then she just looks at him, gives him a kiss, and takes off her clothes. Like that, huh? Uh-huh. You know, Dart, I got a feeling things are going to start looking up for you and me. Yes, sir. We're due for a change of luck. And that leads us to the next issue. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. So I have always had a soft spot for Atari Force, and because I have very fond memories of that. And Jose Luis Garcia-Lopez, who did also work on Justice League and Superman, that brings me all back. This is all very nostalgic, but the story is good and fun too. It's a little bit more, a bit of a more mature side, in my opinion, than normal DC comics, which I like. So guys, let me know what you think about this comic. Do you read it? Do you want to read it? Leave a comment below, subscribe to my YouTube channel and all that YouTube jazz. See you next time. Bye bye.